Hey guys, it's Fiona. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be putting a twist on two desserts, Hong Kong egg tarts and creme brulee, to make creme brulee tarts. One of my friends actually suggested that I make creme brulee on this channel, so thank you very much. And I also had some egg tart shells at home, and since egg tarts are also made out of egg, I thought why not just integrate them to make a dessert of our own. So let's just get right into the video. Before I make the creme brulee part, I'm going to be defrosting my egg tart shells in advance so that they're completely defrosted before I put them in the oven. The egg tart shells that I'm using are already pre-made and I got them at the grocery store. I got mine from No Frills, or you can buy them from Asian supermarkets. And if they're not accessible where you are, you can also use homemade egg tart shells. Now these are already pre-made and pre-lined with aluminum tins, so there's no need to reshape them, and you also do not need a mold for making these tarts. Next, like any other recipe, I'm going to be separating two eggs because I'm just going to be needing the yolks for this custard base. And then next I'm going to be adding 25 grams of sugar to the egg yolks. Also about half a teaspoon of vanilla. And then lastly, I'm just going to be mixing these all together. Next, in a saucepan, I'm going to be adding 100 milliliters of heavy cream or whipping cream, or you can call it heavy whipping cream, and also 100 milliliters of milk. I think it would be adequate to use any type of milk, but I'm using 2% milk. Now I'm going to take these two liquids over to the heater and heat them up until they just start to form bubbles, or like my shoe video, I'm going to be using my hand to test the temperature. So the mixture oh my gosh. So the mixture is almost boiling, so I'm going to take it off the heat. And with my hand, I can feel that it is kind of hot. So now to the egg yolk mixture, I think I'm also going to add just a pinch of salt for some added flavor. And then I'm going to slowly stream my warmed milk. I'm going to transfer this mixture back into my Pyrex pitcher, and then we're going to be pouring this mixture into my egg tart shells. So now before we pour the mixture into the egg tart shells, just make sure to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm pouring my mixture to about 8 to 9 parts full. We still have to do a coating of sugar, so I'm going to be leaving some room for that. The amount of tarts that you make may vary based on how big your shells are. Mine are quite small. For reference, this is my hand and this is the size of the egg tart shell. So it's about the size of my palm where I can kind of grab it. So I think I'm going to need to make about 10 to 12. Now some of them may have bubbles on top, and once they're baked, they're going to create little holes in the filling. So if you want to avoid that, then I suggest you take a spoon and also a towel to wipe it off, and just kind of dip the spoon and kind of pick up some of the bubbles and then wipe it off on the towel. Because this is a creme brulee inspired recipe, I'm going to be baking it in a hot water bath, which means that I need a dish deep enough to hold water. Very carefully. So I actually boiled this water to about 75 degrees. Pour this water to about 1/2 to 1 centimeters deep. I'm going to bake this in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes. Next, I'm going to be making the sugar coating. I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of water, and also just a tad bit of vinegar to prevent the sugar from crystallizing. Next, you're going to mix the sugar mixture until it's well combined and then put it over on the stove. Make sure not to mix the mixture when it's on the stove to prevent crystallizing, and we're going to wait till it turns into a orangish color. While the sugar is still melted, quickly take a little bit of the syrup and pour it onto the tart. Then swirl around to create a thin coating of brulee on the top of the egg tart. This was my first time doing it as well, and my advice to you is just experience. It's hard at first, but the more you do it, the better you get at it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and feel free to leave any suggestions for future video ideas in the comments, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!